UK says Putin killed Navalny with a deadly frog toxin. The Foreign Secretary has directly blamed the Kremlin for the Russian opposition leader's death at a global security summit where the Prime Minister tried to mend fences with the US and Europe.
We are not the Britain of the Brexit years anymore.
Also tonight, ITV News uncovers recordings of Ghislaine Maxwell being quizzed about Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
An inspired Scotland blow England away in ruthless fashion in the Six Nations. And
it is gold for Matt Weston! Gold for Great Britain!
Team GB's Matt Weston's joy after sliding to gold at the Winter Olympics.
Crying quite a lot in my helmet and tried to compose myself, but then as soon as I got back up and I saw loads of my family and friends, I kind of went again.
This is ITV News with Shehab Khan.
Good evening. The British government has accused the Kremlin of murdering the Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny with a toxin from a poisonous frog. The dramatic announcement was made by Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper at the Munich Security Conference today, alongside Navalny's widow. It followed a speech by Sir Keir Starmer urging the world's nations to work together to stand up to Vladimir Putin. Our global security editor Rohit Katru was there as the day's events unfolded.
Today isn't about repairing relations, but resetting them for the new world order, for leaders on both sides of the Atlantic. But for Keir Starmer uniquely, it means speaking to both sides. He would win applause for suggesting a new era of UK relations, not just with the US, but with Europe too.
Now, we are not the Britain of the Brexit years anymore, because we know and that is because we know that in a dangerous world, we would not take control by turning inward. We would surrender it. And I won't let that happen.
Many Europeans were braced for a combative contribution from the US. The Secretary of State offered no shift in its policy, but there was certainly a softening in its tone.
This is why President Trump demands seriousness and reciprocity from our friends here in Europe. The reason why, my friends, is because we care deeply. We care deeply about your future and ours.
A few streets away, one man's story gave a face to what's being discussed in the conference hall. Stern-faced European ministers in step with the Russian opposition leader, an attempt to shift attention back to their real adversary. Yulia Navalnaya is the widow of Alexei Navalny, who died in a Russian prison 2 years ago this week. They say they now know how.
We have confirmed that a deadly toxin was found in Alexei Navalny's body.
British experts helped to identify the toxin, tracing it to poison dart frogs native to Ecuador.
Only the Russian government had the means, the motive, and the opportunity to use that toxin against Alexei Navalny in prison.
Now, it's not just words, it's scientific proof that my husband, Alexei Navalny, was poisoned and killed by Russian government and by Vladimir Putin.
This was a chilling allegation. It's a human tragedy, but this was unmistakably political. Disclosing these details are meant to be a warning to Moscow and a message to Washington too. Rohit Katru, ITV News, Munich.
ITV News has uncovered 2 recordings in the Epstein files which show Ghislaine Maxwell being asked about allegations against Jeffrey Epstein. They appear to be depositions where a witness gives evidence to lawyers under oath, but without a judge present. Sam Holder has more.
Did Mr. Epstein ever ask you?
Hidden in the millions of Epstein files are videos Ghislaine Maxwell fought to keep secret.
There is nothing
inappropriate or incorrect about that. And your mischaracterization of it, I think, is unfortunate.
They appear to come from deposition hearings in 2016. Her answers, evasive at best.
Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for purposes of sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
Okay, I'll begin, please. Sure. Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls to use them for sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
Can you ask it a different way? Did Jeffrey Epstein have a scheme to recruit underage girls for sexual massages?
Object to Foreman's Foundation.
If you know.
So, I don't know what you're talking about.
The hearings were part of a defamation case brought by Virginia Giuffre, one of the most well-known accusers. She claims she was trafficked by Maxwell and Epstein and abused by Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He denies the allegations. Maxwell's lawyers had fought for the videos to remain hidden. While the transcripts were unsealed in 2020, the clips have never been seen by the public before.
So never in your time at any of Jeffrey Epstein's homes were you present when a female under the age of 18 was there to give Jeffrey Epstein a massage?
Object to the Foreman's Foundation.
First of all, as I said, when I was
No,
present...
it's a yes or no answer.
No,
Please
it is
give me-
not a
it
yes
is
or no answer.
You can answer the question in full, but please provide a yes or no as an initial matter.
I cannot answer a yes or no question to that question because it's not bounded by any time and it's not bounded by anything.
Amongst the mountain of millions of documents and images in the Epstein files, this was found last week. It is Maxwell in a prison cell. Despite her answers in 2016, just 4 years later, she was arrested and then sentenced to 2 decades behind bars. Sam Holder, ITV News.
Lord Mandelson has been seen in public for the first time since being placed under police investigation over his communications with Jeffrey Epstein. The former US ambassador is facing a criminal probe after evidence emerged that he had shared potentially market-sensitive government information with his former friend. He has denied any wrongdoing. And the Most Reverend Richard Moth was installed as the Archbishop of Westminster today. The new head of the Catholic Church in England and Wales said failures in the church had harmed the good work that it does. The French rape survivor Giselle Pellicot has been speaking about her ordeal ahead of publishing a book about the crimes and her universally praised response to them. Sabah Chowdhury is here. Sabah, she's always said that she refuses to be blamed.
Good evening. Well, Giselle Pellicot is a hero to many people for pointing out that it should be the survivors, or rather the perpetrators and not the survivors of sexual abuse, that should feel shame. She herself was at the centre of a mass rape trial back in 2024 in France, where 51 men, including her ex-husband Dominique Pellicot, were convicted of drugging and raping her across a decade. Crimes that were largely orchestrated by her ex-husband. And now, in a series of interviews, she has said that she intends on visiting Dominique Pellicot in prison in her search for answers.
But how can you imagine that your husband is drugging you? It's unthinkable, impossible. In fact, I was manipulated for about 10 years because he was looking me in the eyes every day, knowing he was poisoning me. But I never saw that. I saw a kind, caring man.
Well, Miss Pellicot has since received a letter from Queen Camilla commending her for her bravery, and Miss Pellicot has said that she, in turn, feels very overwhelmed and honoured.
Sabah, thank you very much. It's not often that England and Scotland play each other in two different sports on the same day, but they came face to face today on different sides of the world. The age-old rivals met for rugby's Calcutta Cup in Edinburgh, and also 5,000 miles away in Calcutta itself in cricket's T20 World Cup. Here's Chris Scudder.
Rugby is one thing, but if Scotland beat England in cricket, the sporting fallout would be seismic. For a while, it looked possible, chasing 153 to win. England wobbles with the loss of 2 early wickets.
Does it again.
But step forward Tom Banton to save the day. 3 sixes in 1 over settled the nerves, steadied the ship, and some timely fireworks from Will Jacks helped England get across the line. But Scotland pushed them all the way. to the Calcutta Cup, where Scottish victories against England are far more familiar. England walked straight into trouble again, an early yellow card, and with the extra man, the Scots ran amok. 17-0 in no time. England were all over the place, rushed and rattled into mistakes. This was fast becoming a sporting Bannockburn. Bad turned to worse. Henry Arundel's rash challenge turned 2 yellow cards into a 20-minute red, and the wheels even came off the reliable Ford. George, kick charged down, and a breakaway second try for Hugh Jones.
What a moment!
England's 12-match winning run is over, and they can't even say it's just not cricket. Chris Scudder, ITV News.
There was a huge upset in the fourth round of the FA Cup as League One side Mansfield came from behind to knock out Premier League team Burnley. This stunning free kick from Lewis Reed secured victory for the Stags. And after missing out on medals by the narrowest of margins, Team GB finally tasted victory last night at the Winter Olympics. Skeleton slider Matt Weston took gold after a series of record runs, and 24 hours later he's still clinging tightly on to that medal he's always dreamed of. But he was more than happy to show it off to Shehab.
It is gold for Matt Weston! Gold for Great Britain!
It was Team GB's first medal at the Winter Olympics, secured in record-breaking style by Matt Weston, who's been keeping it very safe.
I haven't been given a box for it yet, so it's still in a. This is my medal sock, so it's not all glamorous, but it's yeah. I'm very proud of this piece of metal.
He broke the track record 4 times in 4 runs in Cortina, leading to this emotional moment with his coach at the finish line.
I was crying quite a lot in my helmet and tried to compose myself, but then as soon as I got back up and I saw loads of like my family and friends, I kind of went again. I had no control over that emotion. It kind of just all flooded out.
Already a double European and world champion, he's now the only British man to win Olympic gold in the skeleton. All the more impressive considering Matt took up the sport 9 years ago after an injury ended his taekwondo career. He hopes his success will inspire others to follow suit.
We've opened our doors for new guys and girls to come and try out and see if you've got the potential to go to see if you'd be good at basically being a professional penguin. Yeah, no, I'm so pleased that I gave it a go and grabbed that opportunity with both hands.
The next big date on Matt's calendar, his wedding in July. For a few months at least, he can say this was the happiest day of his life. Jay Akbar, ITV News.
That's it from us. The weather forecast is next, but from all of us here, good night.
Today